You will win if you don't quit. You got to have stamina. You've got to have staying power. You've got to make no your vitamin.
Logical, practical thinking says you can't do it today. But if you want to produce unreasonable results in your life, like living your dream and taking charge of your destiny, you've got to be an unreasonable person. You've got to be an uncommon person. It's you. You've got to take personal responsibility. You've got to make it your personal business to make it happen. And you've got to resolve within yourself that I can do this, that it's hard. But you've got to say, I'm the one. I'm the one to make this happen. I'm the one to become successful in this business. But you know it's going to be hard, but find out what will make it worth it for you.
You must have, as a basic principle, the determination to achieve excellence in your various fields of endeavor. When you discover what you're going to be in life, set out to do it, and to do it well. Set out to do it as if God Almighty called you at this particular moment in history to do it. And so I would urge you to study hard, to burn the midnight oil. I would say to you, set out to do a good job and do that job so well that the living, the dead, or the unborn couldn't do it any better. Falls your lot to be a street sweeper. Sweep streets like Michelangelo painted pictures. Sweep streets like Beethoven composed music. Sweep streets like Leontine Price sings before the Metropolitan Opera. Sweep streets like Shakespeare wrote poetry. Sweep streets so well that all the host of heaven and earth will have to pause and say, here lived a great street sweeper who swept his job well. If you can't be a pine on the top of the hill, be a scrub in the valley. Be a bush if you can't be a tree. If you can't be a highway, just be a trail. If you can't be the sun, be a star. For it isn't by size that you win or you fail. Be the best of whatever you are.
I have 24 hours. This 24 hours belongs to me. And whatever I do in this 24 hours will determine where I'll be tomorrow and the next day. And I think that's what people need to focus on. Get off of this, I want to make 6 figures. I want to drive this car. I want to live in this house. I think what people should be focusing on is I have 24 hours. And in that 24-hour period, I can either break my life or make my life.
You might be taller than me, you might be bigger than me, you might be stronger than me, but I'm coming, and I'd rather die trying. I'd rather die. I'd rather give everything I got. I'd rather give a year. I'd rather put in work and fail to not try it off. If you work hard, you can't have it. It ain't nothing you can't have if you're willing to persevere, if you're willing to stick in there, if you're willing to stay, if you're willing to fight. It ain't nothing you can't have. If you really, really want it like you say you want it, you can have it.
Michael Jordan, I remember I interviewed him years ago, and I said, what makes you the best in the world? Is it skill? Is it talent? Is it ability? Is it background? Is it training? He said, I didn't even make the high school basketball team my sophomore year. I was cut. What it is every day I demand more from myself than anybody else could possibly expect. I don't compete with other people, I compete with what I'm capable of. I don't negotiate with myself. Well, maybe I'll do it tomorrow, I'm gonna do this, or let me wait 2 more minutes till I'm ready. There's none of that shit with me. I go, I say, we do. I'm not here to discuss this shit with my mind. There's mind, and then there's soul and spirit. My soul fucking knows, and when I say jump, you fucking jump. I'm not here to have a discussion with you. Does it happen every year of my life? No. And when I find it's not working, and I step back up and condition it. How do you build a muscle? You don't build muscle because you were born with it. We're all born with muscle, but if it's developed, you trained it. And that means you had to find something that you valued more than your pain. You had to use your pain and say, I'm gonna use it to become more.
If you were to write a book about your life and hand it to somebody,
would that book change their life? If not, you better get the fucking work.
Through self-discipline, through tons of repetition of the same thing that you don't want to do, you develop armor for your mind. Your mind's like, okay, we suffer every day. That's what we do. We do stuff that sucks every day, so then when the suck stuff comes, you're ready for it. You have to struggle. You have to struggle. The bigger the struggle, the bigger the peace.
Wake up in the morning time and win the battle against yourself. If you think that you've given everything, you really haven't. If you have an excuse about my mom wasn't there, my dad wasn't there, I got bullied in school, I was fat, don't want to hear it. You have a lot more to give.
Go out there and change the way you look at things. Change your attitude and make something negative into a positive.
It's usually not this big decision that you make that impacts your life. It's really just a bunch of little decisions that you make that impact your life. When the alarm goes off in the morning, are you gonna get up or are you gonna roll over and sleep more? Then are you gonna go work out or are you gonna go watch TV? It's little decisions like that that put you on the right path. When you make your decision, make the right decision. If you got one of those days where your mind is being weak, shut your mind down. It gets no vote. Set up your gear, set up your weights, and do the work. Just do the work. Don't put it off till tomorrow. Don't voluntarily do anything tomorrow that you should be getting done today. Get it done today. Don't wait. Attack it, destroy it, and move on. Decide to be better. Decide to get better. Decide to get after it.
I want to be the person that is the first person there and the last person to leave, because I think that the road to success is through commitment and through the strength to drive through that commitment when it gets hard. And it is going to get hard and you're going to want to quit sometimes, but it'll be colored by who you are and more who you want to be.
You can only have two things in life: reasons or results. Notice, reasons don't count.
When you're committed to an outcome, there are no excuses. There are no stories. There are no reasons not to achieve it. But if you're interested in an outcome, you will do what's convenient. You'll come up with excuses, stories, reasons to support your convenience desire. And so here's my question for you. Are you interested or are you committed?
As you think about this that you know you need to handle, what are you going to do? Write down 3 strong reasons on why you know you must take action. And be explicit and descriptive in your reasons, because your reasons have power. Your reasons will drive you. When you have doubt, when your faith becomes weak, your reasons will fortify your faith. When you have an inner conversation, say, no, don't do that. Your reasons will become your rod and your staff to comfort you, to take you through those challenging moments. And what you will find, that when you decide to act, when you decide to take life on, when you're stretching out, when you're taking life by the collar, and you know that what you're doing is right, it gives a special meaning and power to you. You'll begin to discover some things about you that you don't know you've got when you put yourself in that type of challenging situation.
So I had 2 choices. Either I was going to sit in that failure and give up, or I was going to make a decision to step out of the darkness. You see, when you're in that darkness, you want to sit there and wait for the light to come. When you're in that darkness, it feels uncomfortable, but you can't wait. The only way out is to step forward, to face your fears, to become your own light. I had to believe in myself like never before. I had to find my inner power. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. There's gonna be a lot of times y'all about to fail. We are all a work in progress. And one day, you'll be sitting in the dark like I was, and you're gonna be asking yourself, what am I gonna do now? But in that moment, I want you to remember the power of you. You will change the world.
It's all right to fail as long as you fail forward. But I need you to have heart, because there's some things you just can't get without perseverance. You got
gotta have heart, because sometimes you'll get hurt and you gotta be able to bounce back. You gotta be resilient. Sometimes you're gonna face obstacles. You might pass the test on the 4th try, not the 1st, not the 2nd, not the 3rd, and you gotta have the ability to get back up and act like you ain't never failed in the first place. Are you hearing me? If you would be willing to fight your way through it, if you would be willing to fight your way through this battle, fight your way through cancer, fight your way through that academic struggle, fight your way through divorce, fight your way through boxing, fight your way through football. If it was easy, everybody would do it. You gotta fight your way through it. You've gotten this far. If you was gonna quit, you should have quit a long time ago. You've come too far to quit now. You need to get a reward for it.